What's up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about a French Netflix series that I binged over the weekend, Lupin, created by George K. and François Uzan. Now this show is currently #1 in a lot of countries, and for those who haven't seen it yet, I'm gonna get straight to the point. This show has nothing to do with the anime series Lupin the Third or the manga source material for that matter. This show makes no reference to that. It makes reference, however, to the original work by Maurice Leblanc. If you're not aware, he's the original creator of the character Arsène Lupin, based on the novels back in 1905. So in here, Lupin does not make an appearance at the flesh. He is actually the inspiration for our main character here, played by Omar. He plays Assane Diop, a man who's out on a revenge mission for his father who was wrongly framed for a crime that he did not commit 25 years ago. So in this show, Assane will be reenacting some of the capers that he did in the book. Now, before I continue with this review, why don't you guys show your support to the channel by hitting that like button and subscribing to us for weekly reviews of movies, TV shows, and video games. Now back to the review. Assane here treats this book, The Adventures of Lupin, as some sort of a heritage secret, a source of wisdom and knowledge to be able to enact this heist that he's planning to do. The plot structure of the show jumps back and forth from past to the present as we trace back to the early stages where Assane is still planning this heist. Episode 1 kicks off with this grand heist to steal this valuable necklace, which we later on learn that it's actually the same necklace that his father was wrongly accused of stealing off by the family of Pellegrinis, a wealthy family that he and his family are working for back when he was a kid. Now clearly he has a lot of unfinished business with this family, and the show also tends to imply that this family has more secrets to hide. Now that grand heist alone serves as the jumping point to unravel a larger mystery by the end of the season. So right from the get-go, this show is very much an easy sell because there's caper, there's thriller, there's crime, there's also heart and humor found in those flashbacks. This one can easily resonate on the audiences because there's nothing noble than to search for the truth and to clear his father's name. You can easily hop onto the cause of our main protagonist here even if he does something illegal. Now the character of Lupin here has the moniker of Master of Disguise / Gentleman Burglar. He's actually excellent in making all of these ruses. He's excellent acting in playing these disguises. It kind of reminded me of the show Sherlock. However, when it comes to the ingenuity in his proceedings, Lupin here is nowhere near Sherlock. He has a better moral compass though. Normally when we have these genius characters, they tend to be egoistic and cynical. Lupin here is humble, down to earth, and very charismatic thanks to the performance of Omar. Prior to the show, I'm only familiar with the character of Lupin in the anime series, and I think Omar captures the essence of that character with his charming smile and his charismatic delivery. In some way, he actually reminded me of James Bond in a way that they fit the same profile when it comes to the stature, and he also can get scrappy if he wanted to. He knows how to fight. In here, he's pretty much a one-man show though. Every now and then he needs help from other people, but he uses them more as accessories. Sometimes he even employs these accomplices being oblivious to the act, kind of like what Sherlock did. But in terms of being a mastermind, I don't think he's as neurotic and as calculated as El Professor in Money Heist, if you've seen that show. Assane here really thrives in hiding in plain sight, in letting others do his bidding. He's always one step ahead, and occasionally the show makes this fault of making everything look so simple. Like there's some certain need to suspend your disbelief for some because most of his plans here are reliant on luck. And actually it's quite ironic because given his tall and muscular stature, he makes it look easy to fade in the background. But you know, the show makes a point that black immigrants like him are easily overlooked. So I guess the show capitalizes on the racial prejudice. But if we're comparing this character to a literary character, he's actually more of a Robin Hood, where he uses these powers of thievery for the greater good to expose the wrongdoings of other people and at the same time evading the grasp of authorities. Because in here, he won't be stealing just jewels, he can also steal information, which will be vital to his main mission. Now when it comes to the direction, the first 3 episodes are directed by Louis Leterrier. He's actually the director of the first 2 Transporter movies. The episodes are fast-paced and filled with tension. Episode 1 alone works as a deception because for the first 40 minutes, you are given this profile of a character you don't know, and then by the last few minutes, that is the only time when his actual identity is revealed, so you get a new perspective to that episode and to that character. Is actually genius because the movie feeds you with this initial impression impression, then it strips away, then you get this whole new outlook for this character. When it comes to the production values, I think this one is lavishly produced. Of course, if you want to see more of Paris, if you want to get swept away by this show, go and see this, and I highly encourage you to watch this, as in any other case, to watch it in the original language, which is the French. My complaints, however, is that as the show progresses on, I think it's on episode 4 and 5, I feel like the show takes these unnecessary detours. Like, it tries to make things more intricate and more complicated, because I think the show really shines when it focuses on the heart of the show, which is Assane here, his profile, his backstory. But you know, this show has the tendency to take 5 steps when it can take just 1 step, you know. And speaking about the heart of the show, Assane here has a family. He has a wife and a child. He's living a complicated life because they're not officially together, because he has reached the point in his life where he can't maintain a personal life without compromising his personal goal to avenge his father. So they are separated together, but you know, I think the ex-wife and his son here are blissfully unaware of what's happening by the unexplained absences. There's some sort of a will they won't they romance between them, because it seems like Assane here wants to get back to his family, to be in a relationship again with his wife, but you know, the wife doesn't seem like she's feeling it. There's also a police procedural storyline here. We have here a trio of detectives who are always 2 steps behind. Actually, these characters are kind of in thankless roles because they're mostly in there for the cat and mouse game, but you know, Assane here will never be caught by these detectives. If you're watching Sherlock TV series, think of these characters as Inspector Lestrade, who are always finding for new leads. There is a character though, a young detective who seems to be close at cracking the case, though I find it odd that this character has a handy Lupin novels in his desk. I can't comprehend why he keeps these copies by his side. Like, are they using this as some sort of a reference manual? Anyway, I actually find it funnier than odd. As for the other characters here, they're mostly used as plot devices. There is a journalist here, however, who plays a pivotal role in the series, and I think the show also injects a good commentary about journalism, about sometimes how those who speak the truth are often the ones who are being silenced. So I think that's a nice touch in there, especially in fueling the motivation of Assane here in uncovering the truth and to clear the name of his father. Overall, I enjoyed watching this show. It's well staged, it's fast-paced thriller. If you enjoyed watching other Netflix shows like Money Heist, this one is for you. But you know, when it comes to having a more personal factor, Lupin shines more. This will be able to resonate more with the audience, because Lupin here is not just in it for the big score. He's actually there for more noble intentions and to set things right. So I think that's an easier goal for the audiences to hop onto. At times you can predict where the plot beats are going, but you know, the last episode really surprised me. I did not expect that it's going to go in that direction, and I'm actually looking forward to more episodes. And it's also nice that the show handles these tonal shifts really well. It does not take away the fun in executing this heist, but you know, it sometimes gets into heavier themes, but you know, the transition never feels awkward. There's much heart to the story that you can get invested, and overall this show made me want to read the original novel just for the sake of learning some of the Easter eggs that they've scattered here. It's always nice to see an old literary piece like this written in the 60s to remain relevant today, you know, with all its themes of racial prejudice, that somehow these people are often overlooked by society, so they can use that to their advantage. So I think that's actually cool. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 stars. This show has the potential to be the next Netflix international hit, pretty much on the same level of Money Heist, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And that's it for my review of Lupin Part 1. Tell me what you think on the comment section. Have you seen this series? Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to us for weekly content. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, see you on the next one.